Hello, kids, and welcome to episode 163 for Schnozzcast on Saturday, March 5th, 2022. This is Bob. I'll be your host, joined by my excellent co-hosts, Nick Bader, Cory Selesky, Todd, Dylan, and special guest Greg Gumtow joining us once again. A lot to get through today. We're going to give a little booze news for you, some airing of grievances, Nick's existential question, and then closing it off, as we always do, with Gentleman's Agreement and Pick of the Week. Gentleman, how are you?
Oh, doing fantastic. How are you, Mr. Host?
I'm doing good, sir. And how is Cory?
Oh, hey.
Jesus.
There it is.
I expect it, but I never expect it.
He looked at me and he's like, oh, someone's got to respond. Hopefully someone will. Maybe I'm going to have to. And he was like, nope. I don't think so.
No, he doesn't
I'm
like
waiting for my cue.
Yeah, he doesn't like the second respond.
Todd, Dylan, sir, how are you?
I'm mighty. How are you?
Excellent, sir. Greg Gumtow, once again,
Yes.
back by popular demand. Our fans love it when you're here, and they clamor for your return.
I mean, if Nick would answer the phone, you'd have a lot more people want to hear me.
Yes, that's probably true.
Oh, the shocker. It's dead. It is so dead right now. It's not even funny. And to anyone that's tried to get a hold of us, since this is new, these are random numbers, so I don't know who these people are. And so there's just people calling all the time, and maybe they're leaving voicemails, but I don't know.
Don't say maybe they're leaving voicemails. You can see whether they did or did not. The takeaway for our fans is, if you're going to call, either leave a voicemail or text us.
Yeah, text us. Don't leave a voicemail because there's so much.
What?
Like, there's so much scam calls that come through.
Are you saying that there's, every time you check it, there's like 10 spam calls, spam voicemails?
Yeah, it's all these random numbers, and it says voicemail, and then anytime I check it, it's like,
yeah,
oh, we need you in the presidential phone. I'm like, no, but yeah.
I mean, I'd say that we're really shooting ourselves in the foot by not allowing people to leave a voicemail, but
yeah, I think we need a screener.
Yeah, and also, I don't know what kind of list I'm on, but on my personal phone, at least once every week and a half, erectile dysfunction affects 90% of males. I'm like,
that's the right list.
What the fuck?
They got the right number.
What list am I on?
It's because what you Google. They know what you Googled.
They do.
I've never Googled that in my life.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they say.
If you Google penile stretches, they're still going to get to you.
I'm just telling you. And so I block them. And I delete it. And a week and a half
later,
later,
thought that would make it go away, but no.
Nothing. It just keeps coming back.
It's all those searches for soft porn.
Yeah, I guess so.
They correlated the two, and
yeah,
like, we got this guy.
Note to self:
heavy petting.
Change search criteria to hard porn.
Yeah.
That'll take care of those calls.
Yeah.
Speaking of hard porn, you can find us out on the social media, streaming
social
social networks, iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Audible, or anywhere else where you can get a podcast. You can also follow us on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube at Schnozzcast. You can email us with your existential questions or relationship advice for us, or requests for, to schnozzcast@gmail.com, or apparently we would prefer that you text us at 618-SHOCKER.
And as the Doc Doug Bodell would say, we are available on iHeart Radio app.
Is that your Doug Podell?
It's kind of.
I think people should still call and leave a message, or either we should get a screener on that shocker line.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the budget, Todd. Oh. I don't know if it's in the show.
Todd, we're going to need you for that.
Damn it! Come on.
That helicopter money is going to have to pay for the
seriously.
shocker line.
He's going to have to cut his flights to, twice a month instead of 4 times a month.
Hey, we could talk about this after the show in more detail, but just real quickly, I was talking with Cory this week, and I showed him a picture of a buddy of mine had reached out to me like months ago, asking, like, how do you do the podcast? Like, what do you use for the sound? How do you stream? What kind of microphones do you use? And I thought he was going to be starting a podcast of his own.
Don't tell him anything. It's competition.
But as it turned out...
Podcast? What podcast?
No, I
don't even know you.
No, he's a good. He's supported the show. He's actually listened to us a couple of times. Like, I don't want to, look a gift horse in the mouth. So
we use microphones. That's what he
He's
gets
like,
for
what kind of microphones, what kind of mixer, blah, blah, blah. So I gave him all that. And then I found out a couple of weeks ago that his son was a big D&D guy and started a Twitch channel, broadcasting on Twitch the games and also playing and then broadcasting like what they're doing, like sort of in between the games. And he sent me a picture of what they did. I'm like, oh, send me a pic. And in the middle, they had this great fucking table that they're using that they reached out to one of his friend's dads who made this table for him. And granted, it's a D&D table, so they're using it for a bit of a different purpose. But in the middle, it had...
Is it like octagonal?
No. It was a rectangle. It was probably as far along as the distance we are right now.
For those on listening to this, how far is that?
It's probably 8 to 10 feet in length.
So it was like a King Arthur table?
Almost, man. In the middle, they had a big cutout, and they had put a TV underneath, like a glass tabletop, where they could watch, the games that they were playing or the commentary from Twitch. And they had built-in cup holders for this and that. They had taken their mics and actually had some wood that they had attached to the beams, and they had the mics hanging from the ceiling, which probably wouldn't work out that well for us. But I would like to, like, post-show, I'll show you the picture and see if you guys are interested in maybe seeing if that's something we can do.
And I think Nick kind of has a good idea, too. If it's a custom-made table,
yeah,
for our purposes, doing more of like a hexagonal kind of round table in the center, that we could still have the TV here, and then like each person sit kind of facing, looking at each other.
Shit, we could even have them cut out the center. I got a TV we could put in there.
You know what? We could knock all these walls down and just make a 4-level.
We could get a call screen.
Hasn't even seen the picture.
I don't even.
There it is.
Just anything, honestly. Just we'll build the tables off of the walls, and if you need to use the kitchen, go ahead and use that too, because I'm never here. So just make it one big studio.
I don't recall anything in that description that sounded like it was going to take up more room than what we're already taking up.
A 12-foot wood table that
never said 12 feet.
That's why we're going to make it smaller.
From here to here, that's 12 feet.
No, I said it was 8 to 10 feet.
He said 8 to 10.
Well, he pointed from here to here, regardless.
It doesn't matter
if it's
what I
10
fucking
feet
said.
or 12 feet.
It's as far as we currently are. So it wouldn't be any bigger than what we already take up.
A giant wood table.
It wouldn't be any bigger than what we already take up in your basement.
Okay. So I thought this was a podcast where we were able to say our point and not get talked over.
Sure.
So what I'm trying to say is a giant wood table is going to be much more obtrusive than moving this little 5-pound plastic table if I want to watch my TV.
Maybe. Depends on how we have it.
No, it's guaranteed.
Is it guaranteed? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think I got my answer, fellas.
Well, spend that money on a screener.
That's what we might have to do.
Will screeners take one-time fees?
Cory, you got any housekeeping to go through, or we want to move into business?
No, I don't believe I do.
All right, sir.
And now it's time for booze news.
All right, I think it's just you and me tonight, sir. So what I've got is there's a website called freeblockbuster.org for you young kids out there who may not be familiar with this. Blockbuster was a video rental service that existed once upon a time. It was a building, like brick and mortar business.
Still got my card.
Do you really? So you could go there and rent a movie. And
hey, Bob.
Yes.
And can you drop that they also told Netflix to pound sand? Your idea is stupid.
Oh, yeah. They weren't very forward thinking. But part of the joy of using Blockbuster was the perusing of the movies and looking at the shelves and everything that was there, that a lot of kids today don't get because they do all that shopping online. At any rate, freeblockbuster.com is a movement that has franchise locations all across the country. And basically it is, it's like a grassroots movement. They're asking you to either make a container and put it somewhere in your neighborhood and designate it as a free Blockbuster site where people can come and put in like used DVDs, and under the principle that it's leave one, take one. Or you can go to freeblockbuster.org and you can buy an actual Blockbuster, like a model, like a newspaper stand, and just do it that way. But those are things that they're popping up everywhere, and thought it was interesting that if this is something that you had seen in your neighborhood that was based around like actual books, like a book nook here and there, which I think everybody's seen. Now you can take it upon yourself to put a little Blockbuster kiosk in your neighborhood as well.
Can I put VHSs in it?
You could probably do whatever you wanted, Corey.
They take porn?
Betamax?
Well, I'm
Laserdisc?
I'm not as old as you, but
Laserdisc.
Laser discs.
Yes.
I think I actually still have some Blockbuster VHSs that I was able to keep after they kicked the bucket.
That you never paid the late fees for?
I mean, I didn't. I don't know if someone else may have, but
Right.
I definitely did not.
Okay. What do you got, Corey?
Well, I have a TikTok for you guys that I came across.
Okay.
Is this another one of someone dancing like I dance? Because we could just
No.
get that right out of the way up front.
No. So this is another podcast. I don't know the name of it actually, but they were having people call in and they wanted to know what was the longest slow burn joke they've ever been a part of. And I may have laughed for 15 minutes at this
Okay.
caller. So here you go.
Are we getting any volume from that? Not very much.
You know what? Let me Bluetooth it to the mixer here,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to that in a second.
Need me to do anything on the mixer end?
You might have to turn the volume up on the
On the which one?
on the Bluetooth.
Bluetooth?
Yep, because
Yeah, go
it
ahead.
says I'm connected. So
Go ahead. Give it another try. You have to rewind.
all right, we'll start over here.
It is pegged. The volume is pegged.
Oh, you know what?
Nope.
All right. Well,
our-
this is an audio
Is our
podcast.
video frozen now, too?
I know. I'm like, there's a delay.
All right, here we go. We should be good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. What's the slow burn joke you got for us?
So when my husband and I first started going out, he was a really bad snorer. And what he told me was when he lay on his back, his balls would cover his anus and create an airlock, and that's why he snores.
I don't know why they're laughing.
Stage while he was snoring, just test by picking them up to see if they weren't blocking his toot hole.
I cradled his balls for 3 years before I figured it out.
Oh my god.
That's a dedicated woman.
What a legend!
Nice.
So yeah, there you guys go. That's
Oh,
Wow.
If only I were a back sleeper.
right.
That's the just to give credit where credit's due, the Rock FM on TikTok.
Is that where? Okay, I didn't even see what where it was from. I just saw the TikTok. I'm like, I need to save this
I mean,
immediately.
I don't know if they posted it or if they reposted it, or is it like is it like a retweet? Is it called like a re-TikTok?
I
That
don't
could be the
believe
dumbest thing
so.
I've ever said, but I don't fucking use TikTok. So I should have asked Todd Dillon, the master of TikTok.
Indeed.
Probably just a share. I don't know.
Todd has no idea either.
he's like,
I don't know. But I wasn't paying attention to you.
I don't use TikTok, so I don't know.
All right, Todd.
Yes, sir.
Let's do a little airing of grievances. I don't think we've hit this for a couple of weeks.
Well,
What's pissing you off in the world today?
Well, this week I traveled to Boston, and I have a number of travel grievances. So my first grievance is against people who talk out in public with their phone on speakerphone and scream in crowded places. And now my dog's hearing me yell. Get carried away. So sorry about that. But that's my first grievance. People who yell into their phone in public places.
I have a grievance.
Farfel.
Yeah, right.
Quiet, Farfel.
The back talk continues.
I was going to say, shut the fuck up, Dad.
Yeah.
I see something out here. I'm trying to alert you.
So you're saying
Oh,
they could
God.
be talking? They could be talking directly into the phone, but they put it on speaker, which causes them to have to scream into it.
Well, yeah, exactly. If you're having a conversation with a single person, why are you yelling into the phone in front of everybody? And so this guy's just basically yelling. We're hearing half a conversation in the wide open airport. So that was my first grievance. Put the phone to your ear, you dipshit, and talk to your person.
Okay.
My next grievance is that nowadays anybody who flies anywhere knows that they board the plane in certain orders and your group numbers on your ticket. If you're in the last group, why do you stand your ass right in front of the fucking gate so that everybody has to walk around you?
Yeah, that's why I hate to fly.
You know, Todd, we should be living in a society where there aren't classes.
Fine. I mean, ultimately, they used to load the planes from back to front, but right now they board in groups. And if you look at your thing and your group says D, and they're like, we're boarding A, get the fuck out of the way.
So, Todd, have you ever had to board in one of the last groups, or does your helicopter money preclude that from ever happening?
Years ago, I boarded like normal folk.
Okay. So years ago, when you were one of those normal folk, what did you do?
Yeah.
Did you kind of sidle up to the gate?
No.
Want to be the first?
I checked my bag, carried on as little as possible because I knew I was going to walk all the way to the back and all the overhead space would be taken. So I was a minimalist. I went to the back and did my duty and stayed out of the way.
You mean you're a considerate human being? How dare you?
You mean you didn't walk in front of the veterans and the handicapped?
No, Todd used to time it so that he would leave his house so that he had just enough time to get in his car, drive to the airport, park the car, get on the tram, get to the gate, and walk directly onto the plane.
My dad would do that. He would fly like 3 times a week, and he's like, you know, all this 2 hours early stuff. He's like, yeah, you get over that. And he's like, I literally have it timed perfectly to where I show up into the airport and walk directly onto the plane.
Yeah, I couldn't do it because I didn't.
I hate being in the airport.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I hate being late. So I want to make sure
I do that. I hate being late too, but I hate being in the airport so much. Like I said, it's perfect for me. I walk up, they're boarding my group. I walk right through the line and onto the plane.
Yeah, yeah. It's maddening to watch him do it because you're like, what? Why the fuck was I here for 2 hours? Todd showed up with like 22 minutes to spare and walked directly on the plane, but ahead of me, always ahead of me.
Probably smiling, laughing.
No, he knew that I was
Shaking
pissed,
change.
so he was just like, all right, I'll see you there. Which in itself is kind of a dick thing to say, but that's fine.
And this is my last grievance is my longest grievance because my flight back from Boston this week was 6 hours and 14 minutes. And again, I'm not in the habit of calling children motherfuckers, but on this flight back, a woman and her 2 children, one of which was a motherfucker who kicked my chair the entire fucking flight the whole way back and threw at least 16 temper tantrums where he threw his iPad or whatever the hell he was looking at for his movies into my chair and actually kicked my elbow with his shoe 3 times.
Yeah, but
Stole his shoes.
That's not a motherfucking child. That's a fucking asshole parent.
Yes, that's where I'm getting to, but he's a motherfucker too. He's the motherfucker who was kicking me.
Was he there with his mom or his dad?
How old was this kid?
It was mom. It was a mom. Again, I think the kid. I don't know exactly how old he was. Like he was able to form sentences. So I'm thinking like 5 or 6.
Good yardstick to use.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 5 or 6, and he kept throwing temper tantrums because he didn't want to wear his headphones. So he's jacking up the volume on his Pokemon or whatever the hell he was watching. And so his mom's yelling at him, and he freaking starts screaming, and then he throws the thing into the back of the chair. And literally every 10 minutes, I would look over my shoulder and stare and give her the glare. I'm like, can you either switch seats with this kid or whatever? And then the thing that pissed me off even more is I think there's a thing with parents of young kids. after they've been ground down by these bad children for so long, they miss half the shit that their kids do, which is why she missed the other 90% of kicking and bullshit that he did to me. Because every time I turn around to stare at her, because I'm like, hey, your kid just kicked me again, she's like totally reading a book or freaking kindling or whatever the fuck she was doing. And I'm like, I can't believe I paid money to get tortured for 6 hours and 14 minutes by a little motherfucker. That's my grievance.
As a parent, I can tell you that there's no way that she didn't know all that shit was going on. Because that shit, you don't have a kid who just acts out on the airplane. That kid does that shit 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
So she's got to live with it.
And I feel there's some parents that they just like,
that's their vacation.
Theoretically kind of crawl up into a fetal position.
They don't care.
I don't want to deal with this, so I'm just going to block it out.
Yeah, no.
Well, she would correct him on some stuff, but it was like it was a continuous negotiation. But like I said, he was even then. He, like literally every time after she told him to stop kicking my chair, he would kick it again 2 seconds later, and then she'd miss the 16 in between the next time she actually tried to correct him.
Should have taken his shoes, throw him up the hall, the aisle way.
I was literally. I was trying my best.
I
was trying to be decent.
I mean, I
was actually. My thought was I was going to push the flight attendant button every time, and ask the flight attendant to speak with the mom. But I figured I'd get freaking waylaid by other passengers for being mean to little kids.
Not if it's a dick little kid.
Yeah, they can all see what that kid's doing to you.
No, not see that was the other funny thing. I chuckled at this. So the kid kicked me the whole way. So I'm like, literally, I wanted so badly to just berate the mom for not doing anything about it. But I'm like gathered myself. But then as people start standing up when we're at the gate, and of course they were behind me. And then people are like, hey, little one, do you want to stand on the chair? He's a cute little boy. I bet he's a good little boy. And I'm like, no, he's a little motherfucker.
How you like it, little shit?
You should have bought all the candy you could find at the airport and turned around and stared him in the eyes and just ate it very slowly.
Yeah. I'd like a chocolate sundae, please. It's seat 7C.
Yeah.
And then just turn around like
keep ordering chocolate sundaes and then press the flight attendant button when she comes around and say, could you bring me a trash can? I just don't feel like having this. And then just throw it away right in front of the kid. Oh, there are ways, Todd.
But that's my grievance. That's my grievance. Those are my grievances.
I got to tack on a grievance on the end of yours, Todd, because March Madness is coming up. And so this week while I was listening to Nick's going to get us a shot. It's like, I planned this. Timed it perfectly. So I listened to two separate sports shows this week. And so if you were going to say that the Detroit Red Wings were playing against the Florida Panthers in a hockey game, how would you say it? It's the Detroit Red Wings.
Verse.
Wait.
Panthers.
Verse?
Yeah.
No, it's
Versus.
not verse. It's versus.
Yeah.
And I heard that twice this week. And I'm like, this is a really easy thing to look up, and people are saying it incorrectly all the time. And it pisses me off.
Time is money. You're wasting
So
time.
you're saying that extra syllable that
Yes.
you're saving is
Yes.
money? Okay.
Yep.
But you and I are just a bunch of dumb fucks on a podcast. These people have sports shows that are syndicated nationally.
fair.
And I'm like,
Although, like,
when they verse, verse is not a verb. Versus is a word that means is playing against.
most of the hockey games that I see, though, they will say verses. They don't
That's
say
great
verse.
because that's the right way. But
Yeah.
like, you are on a nationally syndicated show.
People are
and that
stupid.
is not
They don't know any better.
Yeah, that's my grievance. I think it's a valid grievance
Yeah.
because it's fucking wrong.
It's almost as bad as people who FaceTime other people in public, too. Then get mad at you because you listen to their conversation. It's like, well, then shut the fuck up and don't have it right in
Seems
front
like
of me.
a very personal.
Hey,
grievance
Bob.
that you have.
And I told Katie.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Bob.
Yeah.
My tack on to yours is the people who take things for granted.
Granite.
Oh no.
Granite. Where
Oh
do you
yeah, I've
want
heard that a
that
million
table?
times.
Like countertop.
I've heard that a
that's-
million times.
You know what, Todd? I'll add one onto that.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another. We could do the rest of the first half with just this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Pacifically instead of specifically.
Whom? Can you say whom?
That
instead
episode
who?
of The Office. You remember Spider-Face?
Spider-Face?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did that to Spider-Face.
Why did Pacifically remind you of that?
I don't know.
Wasn't it don't bite your nose to spider face?
Yes, yes.
So I stand by my statement.
How
Cory.
dare you wait for me to walk away to talk about these kind of things that you
sometimes
know
when you-
I want to talk about?
Sometimes when it's sports related, the good shit comes out of that. And I stand by
Yeah.
my statement that this is why the first half that camera needs to be down on the table.
If I didn't forget the tripod outside, we would
Yeah,
have.
for next time.
Yeah,
I'll grab it on the break, and hopefully something great will happen on the second half.
yeah. Supposedly,
Supposedly.
I will kick you right in the fucking mouth.
no. Supposedly,
Stop it.
drives me insane. It fucking drives me nuts.
You're driving us insane when you're
Irregardless used to, but it's now a word. That's when they switch.
No. I wholeheartedly disagree.
It's now added to the Webster's, man.
Just because it's added to Webster's doesn't mean you're not an idiot for using it.
There are so many of these that I know I can't remember right now, but that happen all the time that people say.
Yeah, if you're listening to the podcast and you've got some of these that are really, really bothering you, text it to us at 618-SHOCKER, and we'll talk about it next week.
Really grabbing
We'll give
your
you
grapes.
credit.
That's Bacatchapam.
Those words are naturally annoying. All right, we did. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's one I do hate, though, that when people say that they're out of pocket, that drives me crazy.
Why is
Out
that?
of pocket.
When they say what?
Like my dad started in the business world. Like he said that at first it drove him nuts because people would say, "Hi, you've reached Cheryl Fong with such and such branch of whatever, and this weekend I will be out of pocket in Chicago and unable to receive phone calls." And he said, like, all these big executives were saying it all the time, and he's like, at first I hated it. He's like, but I kind of like it now. And
I've
I'm like,
never heard it.
No, I don't. I hate it.
I hear it a lot.
I mean, I hear it in
I've
the
never heard
context
it
of
in
like,
that context, though.
yeah, I've heard it in the context like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket for that.
No,
Yes,
no,
that's,
this is-
I've heard that a lot.
that they're not going to be in the office. They're gonna
I've
be out.
never heard that.
Yeah,
That sounds real stupid.
it does. It sounds ridiculous.
Todd, you've never heard that, or you've heard it in a different context?
I don't think I've heard it in that context. I think that would annoy me.
Or how about off the cusp or cuff?
Off the cuff, I've heard. It's on the cusp, not
Right.
off the cusp.
But people will. There's variations. There's variations of it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I was just saying that off the cusp. And it's like, wait, what?
that's a mixed metaphor.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
did you go with crick or creek?
Creek?
Depends on who you're talking to.
Crick is
A
in the
crick.
south.
I was just say a crick and a creek are actually two different things.
A crick in my neck.
Again,
But
don't do that.
there's
Don't
a lot
say
of
that.
there's a lot of country songs like
You've never said it, or you've never heard
A
it.
crick in my neck.
Crick in your neck. Yeah,
Who says that?
my grandma used to say
Old
it all
people.
the time. All
Oh,
the time.
that's why, that's why
Everybody
Bob's
gets a
saying it.
crick.
there's a country.
Once again, you are older than me.
Oh, I'm like, no, I'm not.
There's a country
You know
song.
who you are.
Total body lockout.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Fishing in the Dark, where they say past the creek bed where the old stump road.
Nick, I'm going to go out on a limb
It's
here.
a song lyric.
I'm going to say there's a lot of country songs
That's
that,
a crick.
that involve a crick.
Yeah,
That I
That's a
haven't
bold
heard.
statement, sir.
Is it though?
they also use holler down there,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
down in the holler.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
holler's a real thing. So.
we've got a shot sitting here, but we still have not done a what are we drinking thing. So Todd, you're back in the sauce,
Yes,
back in the
indeed.
wagon.
Indeed.
What do you got?
I got from Iron Horse Brewing. Let me just get this in front of the camera here. Aloha Death. It's a dark brown ale that's brewed. It's
That's
fabulous.
fantastic.
Somewhat macabre.
Put it up again, Todd, real quick. I got you full screen now.
Aloha Death.
Yeah,
You said it's a
boy.
brown ale.
Why is it
I
gotta
Yes.
be a brown ale?
I would give that a try.
Nice.
It is scrumptious.
I caught that. That's a good one. And your shot is
I got that Crown Apple going. I'm getting it out right now.
naturally. All right. Cory?
Hard sodas again.
Yep. Shot is
Fireball tonight.
okay.
Well, I do believe I still have some butter shots in there, but they're currently frozen.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me just, to be clear, Cory has butter shots in a plastic flask in the deep freeze that is completely frozen.
Well, it's
he has
on top of the.
Now it is. He has butter shots in a butter shots fifth that is completely frozen. And
Oh, is there a fifth in there
he
too?
has a pint of butter shots in my upstairs freezer that's completely frozen.
Well, Merry Christmas to me.
Yeah, I guess it's just wherever he needs to be. He's like, oh, I need to have that frozen butter shots on hand.
I'm so glad I got that thumbs up for storing my goblet here.
Yeah, a glass.
Yeah.
That's practical.
So is my booze.
Butter shots everywhere is not. This is not nuts for winter.
Kind of sounds like it is.
I don't know.
Along the same lines.
Yeah.
My grandpa
More like
used,
nuts for summer.
My grandpa used to hide vodka all over the place. There's the problem. All right.
Yep. And you and I are drinking off the keg.
I'm not drinking off the keg yet.
Not yet?
I'm doing blue light right now. I'll
Okay.
give you guys a chance to get your money's worth out of that keg.
And we're doing a Revelstoke apple for the shot. But Greg is drinking.
I have a 14-year Balvenie Caribbean cask.
There we go.
Caribbean cask.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keeping it classy. Trying to class this up a little bit.
From Australia, huh?
Sure.
Down under.
I don't think so. Scotland.
Oh,
You
not
were
the Caribbean?
You were so close.
Or else,
Damn it.
or else it's not scotch.
Yeah.
All right. So if you don't have a shot in front of you, pause us and go grab it. And then you're rejoining us with
And
your
join us
shots.
for a shot, lassie. Cheers.
Salute!
Groundskeeper Willie now.
Sweet Machu Picchu.
Getting better.
Haven't heard that on your end in a while, Todd.
Yep.
I know.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to Nick Bader for his existential question of the week.
Existential question of the week.
All right, and for this week's Nick's existential question of the week, it was a toss-up. It was a toss-up between two different questions. The first question was going to be if you were to be presented in the situation of what's going on over in Ukraine right now, hopefully supporting Ukraine, what 3 items would you bring?
This is not the question you're going to ask us.
So no, but the first
Okay.
question I'm going to ask you is which question you want to answer, and there's
Well, you're
two.
giving us a choice.
Yeah, there's a 2. Yeah, and the next one is more lighthearted, and it's which, you have to go up to the ISS to assist. You're going up in a rocket. What 3 items would you bring? So which question we want to ask? Cory, what's your vote for?
I'm going to say to try to not stray too far off of what we normally discuss, we should probably do the rocket.
The
ISS
moon.
question.
Yeah.
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 I'm indifferent.
I think
I
we
know
know
Greg's-
what
yeah,
Greg wants to answer. So Greg's like, well, I can't talk a lot about artillery and shit if I'm going to the fucking moon.
Well, hold on. Maybe you got to bring 3 things. You totally can cover that.
Oh, I'll figure something out.
I'm
Just
gonna
gonna shoot
vote
off
with-
into space.
I'm going to vote with Cory. So, Todd, you may have to.
Clarifying question.
Yes, Todd.
Is there Wi-Fi on the space station?
Well, there's going to be Wi-Fi everywhere because Elon Musk is sending thousands and thousands of Starlink satellites everywhere. So
Well, I just want to make sure. Is there ammunition on the space station? Or if I pick...
If
Did
you
I
and
pick
I
a
are
thing
riding
that
up
would-
there, Todd, there is.
I think
But I'm trying to figure out, is that separate? Like, if I bring a firearm with me...
I think since
Then-
the 5 soldiers from Trump's Space Force retired after his after he lost, I don't think there's any more ammunition on the space station.
So that would be one of the items that we'd have to bring? And if
I
and
mean,
when you
it's
say...
gonna
And
be
if
whatever
you...
you
And if,
want. Who are you fighting?
Aliens? Duh.
aliens?
No, let Todd finish because I feel like he was going somewhere
He's
maybe
going-
different.
He's going somewhere.
Well, I'm just clear. I'm just asking clarification. If I pick a thing, do I need to pick the thing that it uses as well? So, for instance, let's say I was to bring a Walkman. Would I need to bring batteries, or does that take up one of my items? Right.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And how long am I staying on the space station?
Do we have to own these things, or can it be like
Nope, you don't have-
unlimited,
yep,
unlimited money wise?
Whatever you want. It's
Okay.
think of it like, and it's for either question. Think of it as, not a political question and not a question of, oh, I'm going into space, so I'm going to need oxygen and all that crap. Think of it as I'm on a desert island. What would you bring? Because Cory was bringing a laptop that he said he would use until the battery died. So that's how stupid things can get.
But isn't this very close to the desert island question? It's basically the exact same thing.
It's the exact same question.
But you go to space and not on an island?
It's a different situation, though.
Yeah, because there's plugs on the space station. You don't have any plugs on a
I mean, if
desert
we want
island.
to break down questions to their very core, then you're like, well, it's still a question. So
the space station has electricity.
You asked a
and all
question
that other
last
stuff,
week.
So
The difference here is the destination is a space station.
Yeah, it's completely
But
scenarios.
The rules are.
How long are we going to be there?
Well, generally a tour on the ISS lasts about 6 months.
Okay, there you go. I'm good.
Yeah, that's a fact.
sure?
Yeah. Generally speaking, it's about 6 months.
180 days in space.
Yeah.
I feel like they give out patches, and that one guy was really
No, there
pissed off.
are
in the
people
one...
who do multiple tours, but they don't do more than 180 days at a crack.
Okay.
Even Mark Kelly, I think Mark Kelly was one of the only few guys who did a year.
Agreed.
Straight. So,
So I'm still thinking about Ukraine. Apparently, we're in space now. So is that the vote?
I never heard what Todd voted. Cory and I voted for space.
Todd was asking what he could bring to space. I think we know what
No,
Todd's
Todd
vote
never.
is.
But he never said. He just wanted. He had clarifying questions.
I just wanted to clarify like all the parameters around it.
Yes.
So if Todd votes with, Greg,
I'm
then
indifferent
you're the
like
tiebreaker.
Greg.
Okay, so you're the tiebreaker.
Exactly. I'm indifferent with Greg.
Okay. What's really?
Did
not a
anyone
tiebreaker
vote for
then?
Ukraine?
Nobody.
I mean, I would much rather do that, but I totally get where I could get.
No, we're not talking politics. We're not talking politics.
I mean,
you don't even have to call it. You can call it
I was gonna say, I'm gonna make
the
this-
good guys, or whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to make this very easy for you guys. I'm going to bring the exact same 3 things no matter what.
Oh, like we had any doubt. This is probably the same 3 things you would take.
Dude shoes,
The same 3 things he would
wireless headphones.
have. Yeah, he would have an Skoda.
Spitter.
Yeah,
Done.
We're not doing all that again. We're not just saying the exact same blanket answer each time.
I actually can't.
It's
wait.
not the same
I can't
blanket
wait for
answer.
it.
It's what I would bring with me.
I'd bring my Gumby flip-flops. I'd bring my laptop, my MacBook. I love my MacBook.
Can't wait.
and my GoPro.
It
I
clearly
literally-
stuck with him, though, because he knows the name of them.
I
so.
literally,
If
because it
we-
was so asinine. I told him last time, I said, Cory, you're on a deserted island, and you're bringing your MacBook. And he's like,
I'd get some use out of it before it died.
and I was like, okay, I can't, but you can't question the answers.
I'm going to make this really simple.
Wait.
Go ahead, Todd.
Again, Nick never answered my clarifying question clearly.
What's that?
So I'm going to use a different example. So let's say on this desert island or the Ukraine, I'm going to bring a printer. Does paper take up one of my items, or do we just assume that there's paper?
No,
for me to print from?
that's just you assume it. Yeah, just like your ammunition thing. If you want to bring a gun, you have ammunition.
Perfect. That's all I needed to know.
And it's not going to be one of those things like, oh, we didn't bring the oxygen tank, so you're dead. You
Yep,
know, like
got
it's
it.
not like a secret, like, yeah.
Got it. I'm locked. I'm locked and loaded.
I'm gonna make it really easy for you.
I'm going to make things interesting and say the Ukraine thing.
I'm gonna make it really easy for you.
Okay.
We have plenty of time for you to do both of them.
We can do both.
So start
go.
with whichever one you'd like to start with.
And you can't say the same thing for both.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You can't add that in now.
I'm sorry. It's Nick's existential question, I believe, is the segment.
It's the only segment we have with someone's name on it.
Yeah, that's true.
And guess whose name
And-
that is?
And guess who could make up rules about Funko this? You.
There were no rules.
It's not Cory's phone.
Well, but no one else likes him. So
I like.
Hold on. Hold
Wait,
on.
what?
I like that.
Greg,
Hold
how
on.
many
Hold
Funkos
on.
do you have?
I have
Hold on.
0.
Thank you.
I've got a few.
It's
What are
it's
you
just
knocking
because I
over?
don't.
What did
sir.
you just knock onto the floor?
Thank you, sir, for your. Oh, it hit the spittoon.
Something fell and hit something.
But I love how
I heard a
ding when it hit the spittoon.
Oh, Greg shook the table and knocked my pen off.
oh yeah.
Wow.
And we'll step on
clumsy.
it and ankle go in the carpet. That's
That was a speedy throw you under the bus move by Cory Slesky.
Wrong
yeah,
kind
look
of
at, you were
wrong,
trying to defend the Funko thing.
Yeah.
All right, so
See how
both.
far that
wrong,
got you.
wrong kind of pen.
Yeah, so both questions.
Both questions.
Okay, so
We'll do Moon first.
okay,
Moon first,
Okay.
and we're gonna start with Bob.
Oh,
okay. So like Todd clarified with your help, if I want to bring something that requires Wi-Fi, I could assume that's already provided.
it's probably already at a
On
space
this-
station.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's because they're
I
gonna
know-
have
I know it
everything.
is,
Like they're gonna have
but-
food. They're
Okay.
gonna.
Yeah. I would definitely bring like my iPod loaded with stuff because I feel like up there, let's assume that I'm going up there not as a special guest of a guy who can't add any value, but it's just up there to like look around and take pictures and say
Like a
hi,
visitor.
Mom. Like I've got some sort of skill.
Oh,
Well,
I was going the opposite and saying you were a tourist.
Well, either way, I would still bring music because I feel like up there's probably something that's in short supply. And they've got crew members from all different countries, probably with all different tastes. And the odds of me hearing something that I'm going to like from something that someone else bought is probably pretty slim. So I'm going to bring an iPod.
we are the world people wouldn't think that.
But I'm also using this as my opportunity to expose people from other countries.
There you go.
To what I listen to.
Bridge the gap.
There you go.
Music knows no language, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. That was deep.
Yeah.
That was deep, man. You put me on the spot here. Two more things.
This is for all the times he's like, and we're going to go with Todd Dillon first. And
Thank you.
Todd's like,
You know what? You know what? Number two, I'm bringing gummies because I'm going to guess I can't have a cigarette in space. So I'm going to need something to distract me. And gummies are perfect.
Getting that booze to float in your mouth is difficult.
Right. So gummies are going to make me forget all about the booze.
Inject it right up the butthole.
So butthole gummies, number two.
Butthole gummies? All right.
Did you just say?
I was talking about the alcohol, not the gummies. But
I'm not bringing alcohol.
But if you want to stuff the gummies
Cory,
up your
no,
butt,
no,
go
no.
ahead.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Guy's in the toilet a lot.
Whoa!
Oh,
Got to get those gummies out.
Dude, it fell out again.
Bob, why didn't you just put them in your suitcase?
Or your mouth.
No one was checking anything.
Suitcase, space suitcase.
my spacesuitcase.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not my suitcase, my space suitcase.
This week's episode's called.
I would probably bring. I would probably invest money before I went to bring the best digital camera I could get. And I'm sure they have on board. I'm sure they have cameras that are built in that will take pictures of you. Just by being
that are worth millions and millions
right,
of dollars.
just by virtue of me being there. Like if I'm like, oh, can I have like the pictures of the
Bob,
Earth?
listen, this
from
isn't
the
fucking Cedar
canopy?
Point. You can't
No.
just go buy pictures from your tour to space. Jesus.
No, I'm sure if I'm part of NASA,
I'm just kidding. I don't know. This is hypothetical.
I'm just assuming that I would have, like, if I said, "Hey, can I have the pictures from when I was up there?" There's a canopy on the ISS where you can go, and it's always facing toward the Earth, and it's like a 180-degree view of the Earth, and it's a place where a lot of them go to, at a particular time to try to find their country or to look for certain weather patterns or whatever. I'm sure I could say, like, hey, can I have from the 6 months that I was there, can I have the pictures that you took? But not knowing
And they'd say,
for sure.
"Niet."
Yeah, right.
No.
If they said yet, I would bring my own. I would bring my own camera. So those are my three things:
Look down there. That's called an angry storm.
angry spider.
Yeah.
Those are my three things.
Those are your three things.
Yep.
Okay. I feel like Greg is itching to go next.
I get out of the way here. I'm going to bring my laptop.
Yep.
Got to have that. I am going to bring a golf club with ball.
Oh, that is not what. Come on, Greg. Come on. I know what you're going to say.
Nope.
Number three.
Nope. It's not going to be what you're thinking. So
There's microphones everywhere.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
What I said.
Mossberg shotgun.
Bob, what was that?
I'm not.
This whole room is
They're
filled with
They're
microphones.
a little more powerful than I thought.
I'm bringing my laptop.
Damn it.
I'm going to bring a golf club with a ball, obviously.
Yeah.
So I can have the
Hold on,
longest.
have you ever looked inside the ISS? Where are you going to hit this fucking?
I'm going to do a spacewalk because you get those suits, and you go outside,
Yeah. Oh, you want
and
the
I'm going to hit a
longest drive.
ball and hit the furthest ever.
Corey.
All right.
I'm already there. I'm already there.
Oh, damn it.
With you.
That's the only one I brought, man.
That's fucking genius, my friend.
Just slowly
Yep.
float.
That is genius.
In my mind, though, I see you being so excited that actually the one time you don't look at the ball and you get one that goes backwards. So you set the record for the longest backwards go.
It can go backwards. Nobody will know but me. Okay, I meant to hit it that way.
Guys,
Todd, that is perfect.
Guys, can you drop another one out of the porthole? My tether, I can't catch it. I can't. It's too far.
Looking around.
I wonder
saw
if
that
anyone's done that before.
Someone hit one on the moon, and it went. I can't remember what they said.
Far?
Because gravity is different.
It went into space.
Well, it's still going around the moon.
But you'd still have to break the plane of gravity to get. You have to break gravity's pull to get it to even orbit the moon.
Oh,
and I'm not sure what the math would be to do that.
I'm going into.
You're just into space. Yeah,
I'm going into space.
He's like, we're on the ISS. We're on the moon. I have no 1/4 gravity to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm hitting.
I just have to get it moving. Yeah, it's just going to keep going.
Right. Yeah. First golf ball to Jupiter.
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
Or to knock out my Netflix satellite, you asshole.
What was your third thing?
My third thing was, just in case things went completely south, a nice 70-year-old Balvenie Scotch bottle.
Yeah, boy.
One bottle?
If things go south, man, I'm getting.
If things go south, you need a Mossberg shotgun, my friend.
You can't shoot a gun at the space station.
Okay,
why can't you shoot a gun in the space station?
Let me explain something.
In the space station, not outside the space station.
The space station, you want to do that.
So, what is it? Newton's law?
Didn't the Space Force want to bring guns up there?
So you ever
objects in motion stay in motion, right?
Yeah.
So the kick from a Mossberg would send you flying into the wall.
I would be pushing you back.
He would have his feet up against the wall.
I'd be like, no, I got you. I got you, Greg.
I was going to say,
got you.
Just how that golf ball we were just talking about is going and going and going. That's what Greg's body's going to do after that shotgun blast goes off.
No.
I
would be pushing with equal and opposite force.
He would shoot that shotgun, would fly back with such intensity that it would snap his support cable, and Greg would be forever floating in space.
And the spark from the shell explosion would blow the space station up.
With all that oxygen being pumped in there.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All the fire going through.
Spark out of the
that
barrel.
one.
I'm also assuming that they're not pumping in 100% pure oxygen.
No, but at the same time, it would be.
I'm not a scientist.
I think sparks are bad.
Not be a bad day on the ISS.
Yeah, I mean, if
you ever notice why? The hospitals were like the first places you couldn't smoke is because there's oxygen running through all the walls, and it just fucking
would go right
turned
up
into a bomb. Yeah.
Those are my three things.
Good job, Bob.
Listen, right. I wanted to have it was in my mind. I'm like, wouldn't do a shotgun, but I would do something. But I was like, Can't shoot that up there. Can't shoot that up there.
Over my shotgun idea.
No, it wasn't. Maybe a little.
Okay, so mine would be.
So it was a Scotch, right?
Yes.
So the third was a Scotch.
Yes.
Got it.
My three things would be, if I could go up there. Number one would be a pallet full of liquor.
A pallet?
Yeah, a big pallet of it, because I don't want one bottle. What is that going to do?
For 6 months?
Hold on.
What is that going to do for me?
For 6 months?
The space for supplies is at a premium on the ISS, and you're bringing a pallet of liquor?
Yes.
For 6 months.
Second, I'm bringing Elon Musk, because I feel like if I rub elbows with him, he's got a lot of money, so I could get a lot more things that I want if we became friends. And then
not if he's already up there with you.
He's trying to go to the moon.
Fine. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, he couldn't get supplies up there. Yeah, okay. And so number three, I would, and I'm kind of embarrassed about this.
Prophylactics.
No, but I'm going to have to say,
blow up down.
Since their father didn't, I'm going to bring Bob's kids so they can experience space because that was just selfish of him to just want to listen to music and not let his kids experience space. So I would bring Bob's kids.
First of all,
does that count as one or two things?
First of all,
no, that's just one.
Do you know how many things my kids haven't experienced? I don't feel guilty about any of those things.
You shouldn't. You don't have to because they'll be there.
No, good for you, man. I will get the full report from them after they come back with you on your trip.
Yep.
So, Nick, to kind of segue from the segment a little bit here, on touching exactly on that, we went to the Tool concert the other night.
Yeah.
And
Jealous.
It was me, Bob, and Jack, and we were sitting there at Harry's eating dinner, and luckily I was wanting to tell Jack a story about Harry's, but he was talking about something, so I wasn't going to interrupt him.
Harry's is the restaurant with the rat.
The bar and grill. Jack had made mention in his story about us going to LCA that he wanted to go to a Red Wings game with his father. And the story I was about to tell had to do with us being at a Wings game like 2 weeks prior.
Oh, no.
So I was like, oh, yeah, actually, no, Jack.
Hold on. It's not like I've never taken him to a Red Wings game.
I get it. I just felt bad in the moment of me being like, oh, yeah, your dad and I were just at a Wings game 2
We were
weeks
just
ago.
there last week, yeah.
But I knew I already bought him tickets to go see a Tool show.
I get it. I'm not saying
you can't do everything for your kids.
I'm not.
Just a note for all you future parents out there. You can't do everything for your kids.
I'm not.
Yeah,
saying,
you can stop them from kicking the seats in front of them on airplanes, little motherfuckers.
So I'm glad you finally are realizing it's the
That's so
parents'
true.
fault.
That's so true.
So I felt terrible when Jack was like, Dad, I really want to go to a Wings game with you. And I was
He
like, oh.
vocalized that?
Yeah, of course, I was there. But I'm like, look, we went to Tool. Like, I'm going to March Madness this month. Cory's also getting married. Lori and I have a vacation coming. We got 2 of them coming up, actually, between Tawas and Pictured Rocks. I'm like, I can't.
TT.
It's gonna be in the fall. We'll have to go in October.
So either way, Nick, I felt bad that Jack was asking to go to the game.
while he was still there while he was sitting across from you talking about going to see a ticket that I paid for.
Corey,
You felt bad.
just
Yeah.
I think a strong male figure will do. You know,
I'm trying.
Exactly.
I'm trying.
doesn't have to be Bob.
I wish my papa would take me to a game.
Yeah, honestly.
I can't fucking wait until you're I can't fucking wait.
Todd, that's basically what it was. I felt fucking terrible that we had just been to a Wings game 2 weeks prior.
Maybe.
Hey, was Harry's busy?
I
See,
can't
I-
fucking wait
I'm
until
sorry.
your kids hit this earth.
In Bob's defense, maybe he didn't know. Maybe Jackson never said this, and he just said it for the first time. There.
I've taken him to a Red Wings game.
No, I know.
I was literally taking him to a Tool show that night.
Right, but that's not a Red Wing.
That's not what he wanted.
Oh, okay. So I'm just an endless fucking
Take Cory.
empty wallet now.
No,
That's all.
what-
Corey, you're a better man than I.
Yeah.
I'd have ratted him out.
What I'm saying is, if like he was coming home every day and like, God, Dad, I'd really like to do this for you, and Bob's like, go fuck yourself, which I don't think ever has happened.
Yeah,
maybe
no.
it was just in the moment that he said that.
And by the way, had he been saying that regularly to me, like he would have been at that fucking game with
Exactly.
me. But to get Jack to watch a Wings game on TV with me is a fucking chore.
I'm not.
That's
saying
not the same thing.
So there you go.
I wouldn't want to watch it in your living room either.
And I
Take
will-
me to the game, you
Wait till you sit.
bastard.
Hey, wait till you sit on his couch.
I
You'll
will.
be all right.
I will say, no matter,
100%
no matter. And I was telling Mike this the other day. No matter, because we were brought up about Cecilia, and we were talking about Jack and the maybe helping out thing.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I said, Bob can do a lot of fucked up things, as can I, as can we
Indeed.
all.
It's a great start.
Not me.
But it's a happy ending.
Okay.
But he is one of the few people I know that no matter what social situation he's in, for the dumbest reasons that he tells me afterwards, if his kids call, he will go on a 45-minute phone call and he will leave that situation and take care of any problem that his kids have, and that's a good dad.
Except for getting to a Wings game, though.
Apparently, yeah.
Exactly.
And again,
exactly.
If you want to flush the toilet, man, then go ahead.
I'm not saying
If a good dad is a solid C, then okay.
Todd Dillon gives it a solid C.
Thanks, money.
And
Appreciate it.
I'm not saying you did anything wrong, obviously, by any means.
Well, he could have taken him to the game.
I'm just telling you how what I felt in the moment myself. I was like, holy shit.
yeah,
That's,
it was uncomfortable.
oh,
Did
yeah.
you forget why we were there?
No, dude, I knew exactly why we were there.
Okay.
But with Jack,
Who do you think fucking paid for that ticket?
I know you did.
Well, there you go.
But
I just texted Jack, Uncle Todd loves you.
Fuck, he probably did too.
Was that pretend?
When Todd says shit like that, that means he actually did.
Was that pretend we don't have Kids Day at LCA?
so yeah, sorry to get us sidetracked on
Yeah,
that.
that's
But
fine.
I had to let someone know because it's been weighing heavy on my soul.
I feel like we haven't finished this ISS thing.
No, we
we
have
still
not.
have to go
We're
through
gonna
Ukraine.
we're gonna go Ukraine next week, and we'll finish off.
No, we got time if you wanted it. But we still haven't finished ISS. Did we get everybody?
You did
no, we
not.
didn't get Cory.
Todd.
We didn't get Cory or Todd.
Well, let's at least finish that one.
All right, Todd, go ahead, sir.
I still think we got both.
Easy peasy. So I'm going to bring my high-powered laptop, and since the supplies will be up there for me to have all the resins I need, I'm bringing my 3D printer so I can make all the shit I forgot or needed. And I'm going to get myself, for 6 months, I think I can do with a case of Blanton's.
Wow. I'm really surprised that there wasn't a rooster in there anywhere.
I was just envisioning this helicopter spinning in 360s, absolutely nowhere. And I really didn't think this one out.
I'm a simple man, and like I said, I got my.
You are not a simple man.
I have my 3D printer, so I can make everything else that I need.
How did I get a bunch of shit for a case of liquor? And
You said a pallet.
You said a pallet.
You did say a pallet,
that's what
sir.
Todd means as well.
No, he said a case.
A pallet is not a case.
Okay.
Case is 12 bottles.
Oh, well,
A pallet is 12
that.
cases.
12 cases.
Fuck that.
you.
Fuck that. No, mine is still a pallet.
6 months.
That's what I'm saying. It can get boring. I mean,
All right, so what do you want to do with the other question? You
I gotta.
Well, Cory didn't go yet, did he?
No.
No, I've not
Still
done
haven't
that.
gone?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine how
You
drunk
still
I
haven't
would
gone?
be, drunkenly traversing, floating through the space station, trying to get Bob's kids over to him so we can listen to that iPad? Play us some music.
No, I would have alerted everyone else on the space station to don't let those fuckers next to me.
Damn,
Keep them on. Do you know how big this?
that's your
I
kids,
was really,
man.
I was really surprised to learn how big the fucking ISS is.
How big is it? I don't know.
It's huge. To go from, they had a tour where a guy literally just put on a GoPro and just basically took it a tour all the way through from one end to the other. And it was like a 45, 50-minute video.
Wow.
And he never stopped. He's like, here's this, here's that, here's this.
Well,
that on there.
Well, it doesn't tell you
long as
the
video.
scale of how big it is, dude. I could freaking point out a million things in a room to take 40 minutes.
I'm just saying, in a weightless environment,
point,
for it to take almost an hour for you to go from one end to the other was a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Well, as I told you guys before, I mistakenly, when I was hungover on the Quest,
Found myself on the ISS.
no, yeah, on the Oculus Quest, on the VR, I downloaded the International Space Station, and I almost wanted to vomit. I had to take it off. Because it threw off the equilibrium. It sucked.
I think I got to give that a shot tonight.
Oh my God, don't do it. Dude, it's really disorienting. So anyhow, Cory,
Now I definitely want to try.
Cory, yours.
I'm bringing my laptop, my GoPro, and my vape pen with the cartridges I need for it. That's it.
Are you going to bring some Windex so you can polish that porthole window and wave to Danielle while she's out on Earth?
Nope. Don't need to. Don't need to. Love you, babe.
Where's
What did I fucking tell you? I'm
where's
going
your
to
better
space.
half? Where's your better half this weekend? He's up in space.
This weekend? 6 months?
It'll go by quick.
I just want to.
Yeah.
I just want to mention that I got a screenshot from Jack.
Please take me to the Red Wings game.
It has a thing where his contact for Todd is Uncle Todd, right? And I sent him the goofy picture that I had for Todd's face on his profile. So that's there. And all it says is Uncle Todd loves you. So he took a screenshot of this message on his phone, and then he sent a text and said, "Is he okay?"
The funny part about it, Todd, the funny part about it is it's a screenshot of his lock screen, his entire lock screen,
Yeah.
with the message being like 3 centimeters high. And
Yeah.
then he's got the time and the music he's listening to and everything.
Which was cool.
He never cropped it out or anything like that.
He just like, here's what I just got on my phone.
The wallpaper is him in a Red Wings jersey crying.
That's what I said. I go. Let's go see a Wings game soon.
Fuck.
LCA photoshops in the background.
Jack, you're clearly not there.
but I wish I was.
I hate you all.
Oh, sorry, man. Like I said, it wasn't anything you did wrong by any means. I just when he
Clearly, he's done something wrong. Cory, stop coddling him. This should be an intervention. Take your kid to a damn game, Bob.
This is what he needs to hear.
Todd, take one guess at what his response was when Jack said he wanted to go to a game this season.
What? No.
He said, Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make it this season.
Yeah, but then I wanted to explain why.
Bob literally listed off all the reasons of why they couldn't go to a game. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it this season.
Yeah. it's not gonna
And
happen.
by the way, my dad never would have listed reasons why I couldn't have anything. It was like, no, that was the end of it. There was a period, and then moving on.
You know where your game money went, Jack? When I patched all the holes in that wall in your bedroom. That's where it went.
Never even mentioned that. Could have. Didn't.
Should have. Feather in the hat.
Should have.
Feather in the hat.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. You're the only one who understands me.
You welcome.
All right, let's get into gentleman's agreement.
Oh, it's the MF and gentleman's agreement. Oh, done.
All right, let's start out with Todd Dillon here. But Todd, before you go, just
Yes,
so
sir.
you know you're going to be first. We got a shot sitting here.
I have a shot
as well.
sitting here.
Excellent. So let's everybody help us kick off the second half. Grab yourself a shot and join us. Cheers.
Cilantro. That's the good stuff.
Todd, you had Tinder Swindler
I did.
from Cory or Nick?
Surprisingly, it was not from me.
Is that from you, Nick? Yes. Tinder Swindler from Nick.
What, I couldn't remember who it was from, but is it from Nick?
It's Nick.
All right.
Yeah, it was for me.
All right. Where to
He doesn't know
start?
Where to start? Right.
I don't. So 30-second synopsis. This is a movie. I thought it was a documentary series, but it's a movie. But it's a movie made by investigative journalists about an Israeli guy who is the Mac Daddy of all Mac Daddies on Tinder, and he swindles money out of women on Tinder and essentially doesn't pay a price for it. I love it and hate it all at once. I think from a grading perspective, I have to say this is a solid A-.
Wow.
Oh,
But it has that love-hate, to it. Like it's like a hurt so good kind of.
Yeah, because it's horrible. It's horrible. It's true.
Yeah.
And I sat there watching the stories of women who got duped by this dude, the Tinder swindler, and I'm like, you're just dumb. You're too needy. But then I'm like, this guy, is a certified. He's got the Kavorka, if there's a real Kavorka, he's got it because how do you figure out how much money you can bilk a woman out of? I mean, ultimately, there's a long line of creep men who get over on women in all manner of different ways. But this guy is the master manipulator. I've never seen anything like it. And as much as I was really at first kind of victim blaming, I took a step back and I'm like, but the fact that if you pull this off on one person and say, yeah, he caught the one dim bulb in the tree. This dude is gaming women all over the world, and that tells me that his game is Jordan-esque, but it's evil. I mean, it hurt. So, Nick, you said it perfectly. I am disgusted, especially by the fact, again, a dude, what he did, and kind of, I want this to be spoiler free, but again, here's a spoiler. In the grand scheme of things, he does not pay a price for what the fuck he does.
Spoiler.
I can't help it. It's why it's an A-, because I'm like, no fucking way, no fucking. The whole time I'm like, no,
wait,
no.
It's an A- because you can't help giving spoilers for it.
It's an A- because as much as I wanted to turn it out going, no way this could ever happen, it hooks you and you watch and you're like, no way this could ever happen, except for this person has an ability that is unexplainable, and it's a person with a power. I can only imagine if he used his power for good.
How do you feel about that review, sir?
I mean, it's spot on. I mean, I liked it. That's why I gave it to Todd. But I mean, yeah, it's a hurt so good, scab that you pick at that you shouldn't.
Yeah, I was I'm like dumb, no way. Oh, okay. I see where he's going. I'm like, oh, no, well played. I'm like, okay, I see where you're going. And I'm like, oh, I just figured out why she's not a dumbass. Dude just played the game at a freaking master's level.
Yeah,
my God.
You have to respect.
Dude's got game.
Yeah, the way he played it. I mean, it may be evil. And the
it is evil.
We're malicious, but you're absolutely
Dude's
right.
got mad game.
Good Lord,
right?
The energy he put into that. Could you imagine if it was something productive?
So
the only thing I will bitch about and why I didn't get an A is the things that they showed that he spent money on, and I'm like, it's much like House Hunters and all these shows or renovation shows. I'm like, it seems like what he got for the money that he had on hand, and they didn't do a good job of actually kind of demonstrating like how many streams of currency were coming at one time. So I'm like, it seems like what he got out of this person to pay for the thing that he did doesn't add up. And so that was the only thing where I was like, I don't fully believe it but then at the end when they said how much money he built people out of, I'm like, well, that makes sense then. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Just to reiterate for the audience, in case you're new to the podcast, gentleman's agreement. I probably should have said this before we started the segment.
Probably.
But I can't say it every week. Come on.
You could.
This is the segment where every week we assign, we put our names in a hat, and the Excel macro tells us who we get as a pick, and you're supposed to assign something to that person that you get assigned to, whether it's a movie or a TV show or a documentary, something that you've seen that you would recommend that they watch, and they have to watch at least 2 hours of it, whether it's a movie or a TV show. So that's what we're doing here.
We've actually had people on the show and have religiously watched the show that still don't understand
what we're doing.
Some of the segments, yeah.
And that's fair.
Names won't be said.
So every now and again, I feel compelled to explain what it is that we're doing. And
no, nothing wrong with that. I'm just, probably before the segment.
It just occurred to me.
I got assigned a Tinder swindler, everybody. Sorry. So yeah, I was assigned a Tinder swindler. I watched it, and I give it a solid A-. Yeah. You should watch it. If you're a lady who's looking for love, you should definitely watch it.
If you're a lady who's looking for love.
That's where you'll find it.
And if you are a lady who's looking for love and you want to know where you can find any of the things that we're reviewing,
don't do it.
A great site to go to is justwatch.com. It'll tell you which streaming service you can find it on, whether it's free or whether it's rent. So with that, I want to move over to Greg. Greg, you have...
Hey, real quick, before we move on to Greg.
Yeah.
Having seen the Tinder Swindler. Wow.
Tinder Swindler.
Okay, Bob.
Yeah, that was a huge Bob moment.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, he put some W's in something 10 minutes ago, didn't he?
I got it right.
The Red Wings.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you feel better about that now? All right, keep going.
Swindler.
Dude, after they interviewed the first lady, I was like, having not even seen this guy yet, I'm like, please tell me that I think this is where it's going. I mean, I hope he pulled this off. I really did.
I was hating on him early on, but then when I saw the layers to his game, because I'm like, bitches are gullible, and then I'm like,
wow,
dude's got mad skills. Dude,
like I said, for me, all it was after the first girl, I was like, oh man, this guy's
check your chauvinism at the door there, Todd.
Yeah.
Not even that. Here's the thing. This dude is, as a person who's traveled 150,000 plus air miles a year, I know that the toll that can...
We're all impressed, Todd.
Dude.
Not a horn toot, but I could relate to what he was doing, and I'm like, holy shit. And he's a freaking marathoner.
He's in for the long game.
Word. I'm like, I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tonight. Dude, that dude's got mad game.
Potential episode title: Bitches are gullible.
Get us a lot of views.
That'll work. We are already falling short on the female listener audience.
Yes,
so.
that's true. Greg, you had
Everybody knows I love the ladies.
you had,
That'll bring him back.
you shut your dirty mouth. Greg, you had to watch Unbanned. I can't remember from whom.
I believe Todd gave that
The
to
Todd?
me.
Yes.
Unbanned, The Legend of the AJ1. So it was about the original Air Jordan 1s. Kind of started off explaining just seemed like the transition between you have a white dominant sport now with the black dominant. And I don't want to say dominant, but kind of coming into the limelight where Nike took a chance with Michael Jordan. And through some clever marketing and some missteps by the NBA, I guess, and some misinterpretations of things, kind of set off a new culture in the world of the tennis shoe world. It's pretty interesting. I'm not a shoe person. I don't get the fascination with collecting shoes to never wear them. But it kind of sparked that whole culture in the world that we live in today.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not a sneakerhead either, although I do have tons of shoes. What I think is very interesting, though, and what I took away from the documentary is, after seeing this, have you noticed how many people who do wear Air Jordan 1s?
I have an extensive friend group of sneakerheads, so I am well aware of the sneaker game that's going on.
Don't all your friends wear the same shoes? Bowling shoes?
No.
No, they don't.
No, they do not.
Okay.
Let's go try. They wear different ones. No, but I have a lot of friends. That's what they're into, and so they have numerous pairs of shoes that they have. These. It's basically a drawing for these shoes, and they'll re-release shoes, and you get into this drawing on this site, and if you get them, everybody just resells them. Some people collect them, but I mean, I probably have 25 to 30 pairs of tennis shoes at home.
Good Lord.
And you're not a sneakerhead.
I've bought one pair.
4.
Listen, I bought one pair of those. I have a buddy. He's I guess he works in
the shoe business.
Now. No, he's at UAD Jesuit now.
Works at Feet Locker.
In their athletic department. And they're sponsored schools. So like he was at he was at Oakland. Oakland was an Adidas school. They went from Adidas and then Nike. They became a Nike school.
Yeah.
So you have to wear their shoes in their athletic department. We were the same size. He was getting rid of all his old shoes and stuff he doesn't like, and he's disgusting. A sneakerhead.
Yeah.
These are shoes. I have shoes that have never been worn.
Come on, Greg.
No, they're still. I do. I have so many. I have 25, 30 pairs of shoes.
I think we know who the sneakerhead is.
Not me. I don't pay for them. They're free shoes.
You don't have to pay for them.
If you keep them, you're a sneakerhead.
If somebody's giving you shoes, if someone's like, "Hey, what size would you wear?" and they're like, "Oh, here, I got a whole bunch of shoes," they just keep giving to you, but you're not.
Bob's kids need shoes,
Greg,
man.
What size does he wear?
His kids need shoes.
I have 14
Get rid of your 30
shoes that I give away to people. My buddies that have kids that are getting.
He can't even make it to a Red Wings game, let alone get a pair of shoes.
Do you have any that are red and white?
I do.
Clarifying question.
Yes.
If I had a pair of lavender tennies in your size,
Oh my God.
and I sent them to you, and you were never going to wear them, you would keep them still?
I'd rock them bitches. I wear shoes. I'm not buying shoes to put up in a box somewhere. I'm wearing them.
Hold on.
So you're a sneakerhead. You're a sneakerhead who wears them.
I'm sorry.
But I ain't paying for them.
Easter's coming up. Greg needs to fly in his Easter suit.
Yeah.
So.
No. There's a wedding. There's a wedding coming up, and we're going to look like two sherbet motherfuckers.
I'm not buying a pair of Jordans or a pair of shoes of that nature to go with something. I'm like, I need this. I need those shoes.
I thought we were.
I'll be honest with you. I
will do it. Todd, this is an exception. This wedding is totally different.
I will say, I think one time Bob had a new pair of shoes, and I was like, oh, those are cool. Any other time, I could never, ever tell you, if my life depended on it and someone had a gun to my head, what kind of shoes any of you guys were fucking wearing.
Come on, buddy.
Bullshit. you didn't notice my docks when I was at your house last time?
Never.
When I got off the copter, you didn't see my docks?
No.
I was rocking.
And
you're a blind man.
All we know is because we talk about Cory's flip flops all this. I know he wears flip flops and slippers. That's all I know.
Yeah, he wears junk.
I've never
get titties.
Looked at fucking someone's shoes. I've never
It's one of those things I do. I don't really pay attention to it because
it's okay.
In the
Greg,
documentary, the
That's
shoes kind of gave a certain class to somebody because they would judge you by your shoes.
Todd's all about the classes.
And so when you had these shoes, it's a weird culture that I didn't know extended into the skateboard world.
Oh yeah.
The Jordans, I know it was all Vans and stuff like that, but I guess they stopped. Yeah. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, Jordans were real big in the skating world.
Yeah, well, because what are you looking at when you're on a skateboard? I mean, everyone's looking at footwork, so that makes sense.
So I mean, it was just crazy, and listening to the guy who owns Nike and saying that there's no way a black athlete is going to carry us. You're going to doom our company along those lines. Kind of shows just the sign of the times of how things changed. I mean, if Michael Jordan was a flop, I don't think Nike would be done. I for sure think that Nike would be gone. But because Michael Jordan turned out to be Michael Jordan.
Yep. Well, it'd be at least Reebok.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I look at it because they did touch on, because I'm kind of watching the documentary. I'm like, okay, well, they got to touch on kids getting shot for their shoes. And the guy made a good point. I can't remember. It was one of the guys goes, that's been happening always in that area, in those in that culture of stuff, of having a nicer coat, having the nicer. I mean, I have friends.
Triple fat goose.
Yeah, I've had friends, where I grew up at the bowling center that were they would get robbed for their shoes that they had.
Bowling shoes?
No, they're tennis shoes.
Oh.
I have seen people get their shoes stolen.
I mean, then you got to think about Da Baby at his concert, where someone threw an Adidas shoe at him, and he asked over the microphone, "Who threw this motherfucking busted ass Adidas at my head?" Apparently, I don't know if it was plural.
No, if it's only one shoe and it's an Adidas.
It's an Adidas.
It's not an Adidas.
Man, who threw this busted ass Adidas at my head?
I have a request.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a request. So the next time that we do a live show where I'm actually in Detroit, the live cast has to be, we have to set up at a bowling center and bowl for charity, because you need to see my bowling shoes, Nick, because you seem to be fascinated with bowling shoes.
Hey,
Todd Dillon,
Greg's family owned a bowling alley.
This can be done. They still have one. We can make that happen.
Greg's family owned a bowling alley, and Greg is supposedly an amazing bowler, from what I hear.
I've witnessed it.
I'm not.
I'm a great drunk bowler.
So that's the reference.
Hey, listen. I can get that set up, Todd. When you come into town, I can get Dan Leach
set up for us.
Let's make that happen.
Listen,
I think one of the live shows we should. I fly in, we should always take care of charities, and we should do a charity event and bowl and do a cast.
And I can almost guarantee you that I can probably get some Screwball whiskey as well.
I can get it too. It's at the store.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Oh, okay. Well, then you gotta...
Like his shoes.
And you're promising Leach over here, like you did for the podcast some time ago.
I never asked him if he wanted. Well, he's in fucking Vegas.
I'm just saying.
I got some bomb-ass bowling shoes.
Keep him honest.
But yet,
floating away, bring him back
because he
down
wants
the
to
ground,
do something
Cory.
bowling-wise. So, yeah, I could probably...
tell him we're primarily a bowling podcast. I don't give a fuck.
He does nothing but sports. I'm not going to bring... When Nick is out of town...
We're talking hooks and crooks.
Yeah. No. But anyways, but I mean, if you're a sneakerhead or you enjoy the story of just the progression of how... I mean, it wasn't the shoe that got him. It was the marketing. I mean, Nike was a marketing company with some shoes.
I still think the thing I loved about the documentary, and the reason why I assigned it, is to see, like you said, a sign of the times, but the times we're in are similar to the times then. But ultimately, the fact that that a person's race fed into how they would actually, what they'd be willing to do, and then what the NBA, a business that employs people to put balls through holes, was willing to do because of what they thought it was. I mean, I think there are so many just kind of things in our culture that documentary touches on that are pretty amazing.
Yeah, I found it very good. Like I said, it was a good watch. I mean, a solid B, I would say.
There you go.
Right.
I love it. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's good.
And in the books for longest review ever.
It's in the running for fucking sure.
I think so.
Yeah, but okay, for the actual review part, no.
And yet you're still going.
Not for the review part.
Moving on to Cory. Cory, you had to watch About Last Night, the 1986 version.
Yes, with Demi Moore, Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
So, dude, I couldn't. That's basically, it's your typical romantic comedy.
Yeah, it's based on a
set back in the
Did you say
day.
bromantic? Did you say bromantic or romantic?
I said romantic.
He said rom-com.
Okay.
I specifically did not use that term because I hate that term.
It might be the first romantic one because of Jim Belushi's role, and it was based on a play by David Mamet called Sexual Perversity in Chicago.
Okay, didn't know it was based on a play. But I mean, as far as the bromantic part, yes, Rob Lowe and Jim Belushi's characters definitely have a huge connection throughout the movie. I will say,
A bromance?
dude, the
be.
opening scene,
Yeah.
every bit about it would not fly today whatsoever.
Didn't age well?
For a brand new movie coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Belushi goes on. It's a 5-minute opening for the movie.
Yeah.
Of just Belushi just berating women and the girls that he hooks up with and what he does, and there's just, and it continues out
Well,
on
he
throughout
tells
the
a
movie.
story about hooking up with a bride.
Yeah, when he does everything's a broad.
Yep.
You know, and they're dude. I mean, I get it. Back then, it was
Back then, it was a tour de force performance by someone who you really didn't know, other than he was the younger brother of John Belushi.
Yeah, so
you don't use the term broad today?
That's a total
I thought it was a couple broads the other word.
It'd be tough, sir. It'd be a tough.
Apparently,
job.
Bob still does.
I'm pretty sure in the Bronx they still use it.
I mean, I think if you successfully hooked up with a girl, like you have, like I have, you could probably get away with it.
I wouldn't
I call
try
them
it,
broads.
You think Danielle would object to me calling her a bride?
Bob, if you ever do that,
What?
if you ever say that
Yeah.
to Lori, I want to be in the same room. I just want to watch that whole thing play right out.
Yeah, thank you.
Done.
Actually,
Done.
Yeah, when you're
I have a
on
Make it
question.
happen.
when you're on bended knee in the kitchen stroking her hand.
I want
you to call. Just slip broad right
I want
into it.
this broad. You have to say this before you. This broad.
Yeah,
That's not fair.
Hand to God, I have told her that she's a classy broad.
No, you can't say classy. You have to say this.
Yeah.
No, that's not fair. You're loading the term then, because I'm going to
like I can do
say
that.
smartest and most beautiful broad.
But again, that's
Sorry.
reloading the term.
Yeah.
You're interested in me just using the term broad, and that's it.
Just a generalized statement.
I could do that.
No adjectives with it. Just
Look, it's the ultimate relationship test, right?
Yep.
I'm
Purely
done-
as
done-
a noun.
done-
Purely as a noun. That's
done.
it.
dude.
Next time, next after party she's at where you are, done.
So what needed to happen was no preface.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
so
preface.
what
Sorry to derail your review. Cory.
what
I'm used to it.
what needed to happen was that we needed to walk up to Lori and be like, oh dude, it's, I was just talking with Bob the other day and he was like, dude, this is one of the few broads that I can actually stick with, and say something like that.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
going to have all week to talk to her and be like, babe,
Nope.
just so you know,
I feel like I
I'm
could've
gonna call you.
survived.
I'm going to call you a broad.
I feel
and
like
it's
I
gonna
could
be
survive
fine.
that.
And she's be like, oh sure,
I feel like
everything's fine.
I could
Call me
survive
a
that.
broad.
I feel like that too.
I mean, in 1 week when she listens to this, I guess I'll
Yeah,
find out.
I know.
Oh, he'll talk to her long
Yeah.
before that.
No,
So I just want to go over something on
Gotta
the
have that
cast.
cigarette real quick after the cast tonight.
I pledge to you, I will not say a word.
Cory.
This is a fantastic relationship test.
I think the funny thing though is, I mean, the word that preceded broad was skirt, right?
That's right.
That's such an old term.
And I also love the fact, Todd, that there are 5 guys on this show, and Bob only referenced that Cory and him have been with a broad before.
I know.
He said, if you're like me or Cory and you've actually been with a broad before.
Broad.
you
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
Currently have a broad that we're not married to.
That's not what you said, though.
That's it. Exactly.
And
I'm with you,
I should
Nick.
have included Greg. You were never going to be included in that.
Oh, wow.
And
Thank you.
Todd was not going to be included in that. I should have included Greg.
Okay.
My fault.
So now black
Anyway,
people can't
continue.
get in on the broad
broads
game?
for us.
Nope.
Anyway, continue.
So Belushi goes on with this whole rant, not only in the very opening of the movie, but all throughout the movie. You know, he shows his kind of true color, but it ends up working out for him in the long run. Kind of
Usually
because
does.
He meets the friend of the girl that Danny Rob Lowe's character is trying to get with, and I mean, dude, it was a good movie. I'm not going to say great. It's one it's one of those movies that over time
I didn't know if it would age well.
I think it aged decent enough for someone my age. Anyone younger than me, I don't think it's gonna stick.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't pick up a single cell phone the entire movie.
No, there was none of that. There's payphones everywhere, and
Yep.
you didn't know where people were at because you.
What's a payphone?
You're and
Said
especially
the oldest man on the podcast.
especially being based in Chicago, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. And Demi Moore and Rob Lowe are not the actors and actresses that they once used to be. You know, I think that.
Well, that was an early role for
They're
both.
not.
Oh,
the
God, yeah,
actors
very
they
early.
once
Yeah.
used
But-
to be.
So they, if anything, they became better from then. That's
Yeah,
where we-
but now I think they've already hit that peak,
yeah.
and they're on the downside of that. So for
During this movie.
no the current day.
Oh, okay.
So so people aren't going to know who they are now current day, or a younger generation isn't going to know now who they are current day.
Right.
And I mean, if you want to see Demi Moore nude, definitely check the movie out.
What's it called again?
About last night.
There you go.
But
From 86.
what I was more excited about was seeing Rob Lowe completely nude throughout the
Nude?
entire movie. So,
Yeah.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
dude,
Man
there was-
takes care of himself.
He's a handsome man.
there was
Yes.
there was a surprising amount of nudity in that movie.
Yeah, and this was at the tail end of like they'd already been like they were both part of the Brat Pack back in the 80s.
Yeah, and we're not like so you'll see it nowadays. A sex scene is more or less a simulated sex scene, or you really don't see too much between two big name actors.
Right.
This was however they shot the scene. Good for them. That's all I gotta say, because there was no leaving anything to the imagination. Like it was basically softcore porn.
Hey, she's a classy broad.
Yeah, dude. I like I said, I enjoyed that part of the movie.
Okay.
But again, just your classic.
Classy broad.
No, your classic
He's practicing.
romantic comedy.
Small tangent.
I think that's kind of where like it all began from movies like that. So good flick. If you have nothing else to do and nothing pressing to watch, definitely check out About Last Night.
So I assume that Danielle did not watch this with you.
She tried.
Where
she,
you watch?
She was not interested?
No, dude. Again, at the time of night that I watched My Gentleman's Agreement, she was already
Would you
kind of
recommend it to
dozing
someone
off.
like Danielle?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I'm sure.
Did you try to watch it last night when you took that Snapchat? Or did you not see it?
I
Snapchat of him going like this fucking bullshit.
Apparently, Cory and
No,
Frank
he
are
was
exchanging
like-
Snapchats together.
No, it was on his story, and he's like, "Sleeping baby."
and
Danielle was out.
She was. You'd hear her snoring.
While you were watching the movie?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Were her balls over her asshole?
hence why she was snoring.
Yeah.
That's why
Nothing
you
wrong with
had
that.
one hand up there.
Exactly. I was holding.
Cory's
I was
like,
You're a
holding the
bad
balls.
cradler.
Cory's like, sometimes if I lay too close, mine hit her asshole, and then she started snoring.
They suck right in.
Ah, Danielle!
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Nick, You had you had Project Blue Book.
I did.
From whom?
Cory?
Negative.
Greg.
Greg. All right.
So, yeah, after watching the documentary that was heavily influenced by Project Blue Book, I kind of had to refocus myself into this because this is not a documentary. This is a series. And I don't know. Like, when I have mixed reviews. So I'll say that when I first got into it, there was a lot of heavy acting that I was like, okay, like, oh my God, we've got to get to that window. And I was like, all right, dude, okay.
I apologize if I missed it, but did you give like a 30-second, like, what is this about?
No, I don't. So this is, if you want to know, I'll tell you.
I don't do that,
I've never seen it. I don't
do it.
Project Blue Book is, so from the review I gave in weeks past on what I watched, and I can't for the life of me think of what the name of that was, but it's
Jangle.
What?
Project Blue Book. I'm sorry, does that not make sense?
I don't understand.
You don't understand that I can't remember the name of the title of something that I watched before?
It has nothing to do with Project Blue Book?
It does.
Okay.
It absolutely does. Yeah. I watched a documentary.
Okay.
That I had given a review on that was heavily influenced by Project Blue Book, and I was saying how it was super cool and how there were alien sightings all over the place, and they were dismantling nuclear weapons and all that stuff. So I went from that to knowing that bit of Project Blue Book, the
phenomenon.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So it was an actual thing, like a military code to describe something. And Project Blue Book was based on all the alien sightings around the country. It was something that they created back in the 50s, which included Area 51 and all those things. And anytime there was a sighting, Project Blue Book had to document it, interview all the people, do all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So when he told me this, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I know that, you know. And there are very few movies or shows I can go into and say, yeah, I know that. But so the heavy acting right at the beginning really threw me for a loop, but I ended up really liking it. I was able to suspend that disbelief and kind of fall into it a little bit, and it wasn't as hokey as it went on. There were things that, like there was a story of a fighter pilot, like back in the 50s, that had some sort of alien sighting, and that was in the actual documentary. And he said that, you know, the maneuvers and the movements, he was kind of a Top Gun fighter pilot. The maneuvers and the movements that were going on, he knew that his craft could only go about 315 miles an hour. And he said that he was gunning it all the way, and this thing was just light speeding across the sky, turning on a 90-degree angle on a dime. And he estimated, based on, you know, being a pilot and knowing how fast his plane would go, that he estimated this. He said, there's no way I could keep up with it. And he said, based on the mathematics that I did, this thing would have had to have been going about 14,000 miles an hour. He said, and stopping at a 90-degree angle and going another direction. And he said, if this was in phenomenon, he said, if there were humans inside this aircraft, knowing only the technology we know now in 1950, they would have been soup on the wall making those sort of turns. So they had to have been way more advanced than we could have ever been. In the series, they had a little literary license, and there was they played out that same scenario, but the guy engaged them, and he's shooting at them and having a firefight in the sky, which never
kind of Hollywood up a little bit.
Never occurred. So that's where it started to kind of lose me. But had you not known that, which you should believe that you're not knowing this going into it just for entertainment purposes, it became something that I liked watching. So I'd say C+.
Nice.
I would give it a C+.
Don't, Nick! You don't give grades. You just say I like it or I don't.
I don't.
You got sucked in. You've been peer pressured into grading things.
I don't give synopsises or grades, but it is what it is. I understand where Bob's coming from. Like, let's not go cold into this. Let's tell people what we're talking about. Understand that. Not going to give a grade every time, but that's where I'm at.
Love it.
I figured it was good, like, segue into it. I did enjoy it. Just the whole.
I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's.
I feel that if I saw that before, I would have given it a higher Todd grade.
Yeah.
But,
Todd grade. On Todd's grading scale, it would have been a little higher up there.
No. I think we should stick with Todd grade. I love that. All right, so to close it out, I had Dead Man's Switch, a crypto mystery from Cory. So real quick, it's the documentary, the story of a Canadian guy named Gerald Cotton who founded Quadriga CX, a crypto company, crypto exchange in Canada, which became the premier crypto exchange house in Canada. But he, and I don't think this is a spoiler to say, he disappeared from the scene for a particular reason, which I guess to tell anything else would probably be a spoiler. So I'll just say I was really fascinated by, I know just enough about crypto to stupidly invest in it, thanks to my buddy Todd.
Whoops.
There you go.
But I'm infinitely curious about it. Like, it was a really, really interesting documentary because, any conversation about crypto, you're bound to learn something more about it. In this particular case, is a documentary about kind of crypto gone wrong, or the perils of investing in crypto and the perils of the crypto industry in general.
The old rug pull.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll leave that for the audience's imagination, and just say I would give this a Todd grade of solid A minus.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
Whoa!
Hot damn!
Yeah, I was. Especially the mystery of Gerald Cotton was something where I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't wait to find out how this turns out. Which was not necessarily like a neat and tidy bow on the end of it, but enough to get me to start, Googling and pulling up, since the documentary, what had happened. So I'd highly recommend. It was a documentary. No, Discovery Plus.
Discovery Plus, yes.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a service that everybody has, but if you happen to have it or are interested in doing a trial for some other reason, this is a good starting point. So, Dead Man's Switch, a crypto mystery.
Glad you liked it, man.
On Discovery Plus. Yeah. Good pick.
I've never lost $1 on crypto, though.
Well, that makes,
me neither, because I
us.
haven't sold anything.
All right. So new assignments. Here's what Excel has predicted. I have Greg. Todd has Nick. Cory has Todd. Greg has me. And Nick has Cory.
That's wonderful.
I'm going to do a bunch of people here a favor and say I'm going to start with I have Greg. So, Greg, I have a number of things on my list for you, and I'm just going to go through a couple of them because I feel like you may have seen them and I maybe can take them out of the list.
Okay.
Okay. The Arrival.
Is that the one with Jodie Foster?
No.
Or is that
that's
the alien ship?
Alien ship.
And they try to make contact. They're using the... I feel like I've seen
language. Yeah. It's Hawkeye. It's Jeremy Renner. And
yeah, I think I've seen this.
You think you have? All right, so just look it up real quick. And while he's doing that, we have a shot sitting here. So, Todd.
I have one ready.
You're on the sauce again for the month of March.
Saucing it up.
Motherfucker, you're going to do one with us.
I am.
Here we go.
Machu Picchu.
Sweet Sassy Molassy.
Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams, an actress who...
Yep, I've seen that one.
The more I see her, the less I can stand her.
Moses smell the roses.
All right. So already I'm pulling that off the list. This is a great. Okay. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, definitely seen that one.
Yeah.
That's a classic. One of my faves.
It is, but I'm like, I'll just put it on there and I'll ask him later. So I can take that off now. Raising Arizona.
Yep.
You've met your match, Bob Rankin.
I'm whittling down the list to the vital numbers. Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh no!
Oh, you son of a bitch! That's not what I'm going to assign you.
Okay,
but I think that's where I'll stop with the.
So we'll just talk about movies.
No. I've just whittled like 3 movies off the list for him. But I'm going to assign you because I feel like you haven't seen this yet. Nightmare Alley.
Please have seen it
with Bradley Cooper and Cate Blanchett. It's like 2021.
No, it's too new for me.
It's 2022.
Yeah,
Bob.
it's a remake.
Come on.
It's a remake, so this is the brand new 2021 version of this movie. That's what you got, my friend. All right. See, all things being equal, that was a hell of a lot shorter than some of those fucking gentleman's agreement stories that you guys told.
Oh, my God. Way shorter than mine and way shorter than Greg's.
Hey, listen, I'm going for longest running podcast guest and review, okay?
Yeah.
Stacking them up.
Nightmare Alley, sir. All right. Who's ready to go next?
Todd. I just saw that. I'm ready.
Oh.
I'm ready. Hey, so Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead, Cory.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Bless you.
So I feel bad because Nick seems to think that there's a theme to things that I'm assigning him. But
yes, I do. You shouldn't feel bad. I mean, they're good movies, but switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little more white folks movies.
No, just not like, hey, this is my racist friend that I need to get woke. That's all I'm saying. He's like, damn it. Well, that takes everything off my list.
Okay. Does anyone have anything ready to go?
Actually, no. I'm actually going to assign one to you that I don't think you've seen, and it's going to feel like I'm sticking the same line. Have you seen the movie? But it's but it's not. I think that this will bond us in a different way because I'm a music guy.
Oh, okay.
You think Nick's a music guy?
He's a country music guy.
I am, absolutely.
Okay, same thing.
There you go, Todd.
Not the same thing.
Now
don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
He's a country music guy.
I'm listening.
Okay, so the movie is Ray.
Sure. Okay.
Great pick, Todd.
Thank you.
I'm being totally serious.
No, you're talking about the Ray Charles thing, right?
Yep.
Ray Charles biopic.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I have not.
And you know he's a country music legend.
Yeah. I know. If there's like a don't go into the black bathroom scene, I'm going to be really upset.
If there is, it just means it was accurate for that time.
Yes.
Nick, you got Cory.
I think you're going to like this.
Typecast. So let's see here. Cory, have you seen Collective?
No.
Is that funny?
It is.
Okay.
It's a documentary or a series or what is it?
It's a documentary.
Okay.
Hour and 49 minutes.
The Collective or just Collective?
Collective.
All right.
It's on.
What's the root of it? What's the plot?
Oh no! Don't say that.
Come on.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that.
I'll just look it up then because I want to make sure I haven't seen it. That's why.
Well, just type in Collective, and if you recognize it, then don't watch it.
Yeah, or send him a quick screenshot from.
He can
of that.
Do that quicker than I can even send him a screenshot.
But he has to send it to you then and go, "Am I watching the right thing?"
He'll know. It's a 2019 documentary, hour 49 minutes. It's available on Hulu.
All right, that should be good enough. Greg,
yes,
you got me.
I do. So, have you seen Brightburn?
I have not.
So
giving me a
upset.
weird. I know he's so upset about that.
No, I've
or did you see the previews for it and we're like,
yeah.
Okay.
No. But if you liked it,
but here's the thing. I did.
This is the whole point of Gentleman's Agreement. If you liked it and are recommending I should watch it, I'll fucking watch it all day long.
But I had a backup plan.
Well, this is your call, man.
I have Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut, in the movie room at my house.
Oh, no, let's do that. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No. No. So I'm going to, we got to go with Brightburn.
Lori said she wanted to be invited the first time we did
so
that.
save that because I have like 1 week and then we have the podcast next weekend. And this is, then I got vacation for like 7 days.
Oh, okay.
So I got a lot of work to do this week, and I'm struggling to figure out how I could possibly do, because I assume the Zack Snyder cut is probably
it's 4 hours.
Yeah. It ain't going to. That might be something that has to happen like over the course of a couple different weeks. But I want to do it, but let's go with Brightburn for now because I think that it would be unrealistic for next week.
No problem.
I got it.
Hey, I have an interesting favor to ask. This is going to be the weirdest one for Gentleman's Agreement.
I can't wait.
So, Nick, my ask of you is this.
I knew he was going to say Nick. I knew he was going to say Nick. Yes, sir.
Right.
Well, when you watch your assignment, when you're done, let me know, because actually I just want to send you, I'm going to send you 2 Amazon Music songs that I want you to hear.
Okay. Oh. Dude, I'm so excited about this. This is like a multimedia experience that no one's ever done that before.
Yeah, but Todd's done a lot of these grandiose promises in the past that never come
Wait,
through.
Hold on. Which promises has he made that haven't come
He's
through?
done a lot of, I'm going to send you this, I'm going to send Cory this, I'm going to send Bob that, and it never happens. So it
sounds like you're calling him out.
I am, for sure. Songs are one thing, you know.
Yeah.
But Todd's
Who do I owe? Wait. Bob and Cory, what do I owe you? Because I'm paying up.
No.
Oh,
There's been a lot of
if we could just have
past.
quiet on the air real quick. Todd, what do you owe me? Let's see here, buddy. Where
has there not been a lot of like Todd saying like, "Oh, I'll send you this. I'll send you this."
I never did get that check for $100,000, Todd.
Well, I don't remember that, but
I was going to say I don't remember that either.
I recall it clearly.
If I owe you, if I said I was going to send you something I didn't, let me know, because I want to follow through on that.
And
I don't know what's happening.
I believe there was also Donnie, the Big Lebowski Funko, that you said you were going to purchase and send.
I knew I'd need something.
I don't remember that either, but okay.
I'll go back and pull up the tape. Just go ahead and
pull up the tape.
Cory.
I think
Todd, while I'm pulling up the tape, you go ahead and purchase that, send it to the house. I'll send you the proof.
The funny thing about it is that Todd is completely 100% genuine and honest and ready to do it. And I feel like there's just a small percent of him that's like Bob, where he's just
that is not how you started that whole thing.
No. I feel like there's a small percent of him that's like Bob, that's like, after the show, he's like, yeah, all right. And he just kind of like, that's it. You know,
absolutely. If I said I was going to send something and I forgot to do it, then it was truly unintentional. But I'm absolutely, because again, I know I don't.
There's been a lot of like, oh, I've got this.
Well, no. So hold on a second.
You a case of the seasoning, you know, and like, and then we just
hold on a second. The only thing that I know that is up in the air that you guys haven't seen is I've talked about 2 different shirt things that I want to do for the podcast crew.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
And by the way, those things don't happen overnight. They don't happen overnight, and they are in the works, and I will follow through.
They happen in less than 6 months. I'll tell you that.
They do not always happen in less than 6 months during the pandemic.
Well, buddy, intention is half the battle, so we appreciate that, and I know that you got other stuff going on in your life, so I don't know if I'm speaking to the guys in this room, but I'm like,
and I will play
actually,
the other side of the coin that says the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So.
No, and actually, the other thing is though, that's why I definitely want to. I have no idea when I'm coming into town next, but I think that we should do, if not the next time we're live, we should definitely do the next time I come into town, which I want to schedule. We should do a live broadcast, and we should do it somewhere, and we should actually raise some money for something good.
I think that'd be great.
I feel like I know when you're coming into town next, and if it's not May 22nd, I'm not sure when I'm going to see you next.
Oh, Todd can come into town May 22nd all he wants. I don't know what's happening then. The 27th, though.
Yeah.
All I have to say is that the next time you're flying over us to Boston, and someone's kicking your seat, just throw us out some peanuts if you could. Right over Dearborn Heights, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I forgot? I did forget one grievance. And this is a common one.
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to go all the way back. But
Yeah, we're going all
I have
the
one
way
question. Can I ask this? Can I ask if anybody's ever experienced this? Why do people get pissed when they're traveling with their girlfriend, wife, husband, significant other?
I'll answer that.
And they book. Well, hold on. And they've booked their travels in some weird way, knowing that the flight is fairly full, and they both got two middle seats in a different aisles. And then one of them goes, "Sir, are you traveling alone?" I am. Well, I'm traveling with my significant other, and I love them. Would you mind trading me your seat so that I can sit next to my lover?
Instantly tell him no.
And then the nice part in you goes, "Sure, where are you sitting?" And you're like, "Well, I have a middle seat, and I want to trade you my middle seat for your aisle seat." And you're like, and they're like, "Oh no, thank you." And then they're like, "But you're traveling yourself." I'm like, my grievance is with people who get two middle seats and then get pissy with people who won't trade their aisle or window seat with them so that they can travel with their lover or loved one or whomever, and want to make a person who's not been wedged into between two sweaty bitches. They get mad because you won't trade.
Todd, it's broads.
It is broads. It is officially broads.
I am team aisle
bitches
all the way.
Bitches is gender neutral.
Look, I know that you've flown enough where you're not going to fall for that bullshit. Don't tell me that's a grievance, because that would imply that you've fallen for that and you're mad.
No.
Mad because he gets
I know you
Dude,
have to know. There's no fucking way you give her your seat.
No. It's that the thing. My grievance is this: as a person never ever sitting in the middle seat and always angry at middle seat motherfuckers, I am mad that middle seat motherfuckers are mad that people won't trade with them. That's my grievance.
Jesus. Okay.
And I'll tell you this right here. And this is I've never had a grievance on this show on this segment. But I will tell you,
not on this segment.
Just from today.
On the gentleman's agreement.
Just
segment.
from today, I was on winding 23, going to work, and it was very winding, and I got behind some fucking dickhead. 23 is only 2 fucking lanes, and he was going 64, and there were 15 cars bumper to bumper behind him, and there were like 3 car spaces, car in the right lane, 3 car spaces, semi, 3 car spaces. So there was no passing. There was no illegally passing on the right. So there were 15 cars, like a convoy behind this guy for 25 minutes. And every time he turned, you could see open road as far as the eye could see. 64 miles an hour, him leading it like a fucking grandmaster of a fucking parade. And I wish there was, as my dad once says, I wish there was a fucking button to launch a fucking missile in my car and just blow up his car and just fucking because everyone was doing like the weave over where they're like, what's going on? Is there an accident? Like, let me weave over to the left a little bit to see what's going. This guy was fucking the grand marshal of a fucking parade, and that is enough to. I'd rather shoot myself in the head than go through that. That's insane.
That's a grievance that's been grieved.
You know how you take care of that? Quick little bumper tap.
Yeah.
I'm 15 cars behind him. I'm not going to bumper tap him.
Fucking hard bumper tap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cory, you had Todd.
Todd.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen Team Foxcatcher?
Not Foxcatcher.
Team Foxcatcher.
Documentary?
Yes.
Okay.
Netflix.
Did you say, is it teen or team?
Team.
I have not.
Like Teen Wolf.
No.
I've seen that.
Like Team America World.
That's why I asked the clarifying question.
Yeah. Team
Fox.
America. Team with an M.
Team Foxtrot.
No, Foxcatcher.
Catcher.
What the fuck?
You know this is going to be fucked up next week when I watch something that I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I can't wait.
No, dude, good luck. If you can mess this one up, then you're a special person.
Thank you.
Team Wolf was great.
And with that, that's the episode for the week. On behalf of Schnozzcast, this is Bob and Nick and Cory and Todd and special guest Greg Gumtow saying thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next weekend.